What is up, people on the internet? JQL here, back with another video. In today's video, I have another custom LEGO video on my custom LEGO minifigures from Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire. Made these figures on a whim. I started them a while ago and then just kind of finished them right before the movie came out. So yeah, that's cool. Also, it's been a while. It's been about a year since my last video. Probably explain a little bit about that later, but for right now, let's just get into these figures. Alright, let's start off with Kong. This basically felt like a Kong movie, not really a Godzilla X Kong. But anyway, that's beside the point. Here is Kong. Decided to make him, and by the way, these figures are not very big. They're not giant or anything. In fact, let me grab a minifigure here. Next to Kong, here is a normal Lego minifigure. It's not much taller, but I decided to make it this way just because if I were to make it scale accurate, I don't think I'd be able to do that. So, yeah, anyway, here's Kong. Kong, the base was actually a Kingpin midfig. You can get these on AliExpress. That's where I got them. They're pretty cool. I've seen a lot of people like the Moose Figs use them, so I decided to use one for Kong here because, you know, the whole posture, the whole proportions, everything was pretty much perfect for Kong. So, except the legs, I actually took a pair of these legs, and what I did is remove one leg, and then so that leg middle connector piece, I took another one of those, glued it in the middle. Well, I cut both of them off, and then I kind of glued it. Yeah, anyway, so basically I just made it so that way there's a gap in between the legs, and it is not a 1x3 like Godzilla, where he can stand on a 1x3 plate or whatever that phrasing is. I don't remember. I haven't talked about Lego in forever. But yeah, so his legs are wider because if I made him like this, he looked a little strange. I mean, at least for Kong, I prefer him to look like that. So yeah, and you can see I have the axe in his hand. I made this after I posted him on Instagram, but here it is. I thought it was gonna get destroyed in the movie. That's why I didn't make it, but here it is in yeah. So let me remove it from his hand so that way I can give you a better look at it. It likes to stay in there. There we go. Yeah, here it is. It's just a Lego rod that I sculpted onto, and it's nothing special. But here's Kong again. The fur, I basically sculpted the fur on every single part of the figure, and that includes the back. You can see. Then I painted it in black, and then I dry brushed it in various browns and even grays. And you can see the head is fully sculpted by me. Hopefully I'll remember to leave some pictures, but yeah. The scars are sculpted on there. I think I made them a little too apparent. They aren't that apparent in the movie, but yeah, that's fine. And here is the gauntlet. I don't remember what it's called. I decided to make this just because I thought it was kind of cool, you know. Then I basically just sculpted it, and I think it turned out pretty good. I even painted the, like, what do you call it? Frostbite burns, whatever you want to call it, underneath. And yeah, it's not perfect. There was a lot of things I prefer, like I wanted to do with it, but unfortunately, because of the way the arm looks for the midfig, it just kind of, yeah, it doesn't really work out. So yeah, anyway, I think that's pretty much it for Kong. Hopefully I'll remember to leave a bunch of pictures of my work in progress stuff. If you want to see progress on it, you can check my Instagram, link description below. I have a reel of me like working on it, kind of, and yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much it for Kong. Alright, here is the big boy, Godzilla himself. This was quite the project. This thing took me an entire week to sculpt, took me a few more days to paint, and yeah, it was a pain in the butt. But here he is next to Kong, in case you want to see that. And then here he is next to a normal Lego minifigure. So, slightly bigger, but not, you know, super big. Anyway, here he is. I think he turned out pretty good. The base is basically, the torso was just Lego torso, except I widened it kind of. I didn't widen it the way most people do. I kind of widened it my way, I guess. And then I made a leg connector piece, except unlike Kong, I actually like extended it to the point where it can peg into like a 1x3 stud thing, if that makes sense. So yeah, that happened. Not like you can't peg in there anyway, because like I sculpted the toes, so that makes it kind of hard for him to peg into most base plates. But yeah, so basically the legs were just normal Lego legs. Then I reshaped them. I think they could be bent a little bit more, but oh well, that happened. Then you know, I basically sculpted the entirety of this figure in Kong with green stuff. I didn't use Procreate this time because I'm actually running low on Procreate, and it's hard to find Procreate for a decent price because I'm cheap. So I decided to buy green stuff, and I've heard some people say green stuff, their green stuff doesn't work, but I mean, mine worked perfectly fine. It takes like 24 hours to cure, so it has a longer working time if that's what you're into. But yeah, so I basically used green stuff to sculpt everything except for the elbow spikes. I actually added those very recently because I got a lot of comments on Instagram saying I should add those. I'm like, all right, fine, I'll do it. So I did sculpt these out of Procreate. So just thought I'd mention that. So this whole figure was sculpted out of Procreate, sorry, green stuff. And I think it worked pretty well, to be honest. Yeah, and the arms are just normal Lego arm. In terms of length, I didn't extend them or anything because he has really short arms. Then I sculpted the scales and all that on his claws are sculpted, and then the head fully sculpted. It is not rotatable. It's no articulation at all. So yeah, that's unfortunate. But there is articulation, excuse me, in the jaw. It can open and close. Very barely, but yeah, I basically use a antenna piece, hang on, well, I don't have one on hand, but basically the antenna pieces, I just used that for the jaw, and I think it turned out pretty good, and yeah. So I decided to make him in the pink design. I was very tempted just to make a normal Godzilla, but I thought the pink looked really cool. I thought it would be different, and I did, and then I found out it's a temporary form. He's not going to have this in the next movie, so that's fun. But that's fine. Yeah, I decided, so his pink form, when he's not glowing, just looks weird. I don't like the pink. You can see the veins in it. It looks kind of gross. So I decided to just paint it in the color scheme where it's glowing. And so his eyes are glowing. You can see all the scales are pink. I basically painted the whole figure in black, dry brushed it in multiple grays, and then eventually I painted the scales. And the scales, I decided to start with magenta, and then I started with normal pink, and then I used metallic pink, even though my metallic pink has basically become like just white. But yeah, luckily it gave off this really nice glowing effect, and I'm really proud with how that turned out. I think the spikes could be bigger, and I could sculpt a little bit more. I'm definitely missing a lot of spikes on the tail, but that's okay. Even the elbow spike, it's not an elbow spike, it's a forearm spike, but I'm not gonna remove it and risk damaging the paint. So yeah, it's just an elbow spike for now. It looks cooler that way anyway, so yeah. Yeah, and here are all the spikes. I'm just really happy with how this turned out. I think I especially love the paint work, and I'm not very good at painting, so you know, this is pretty good for me. It might not be good to some professionals, but to me, I'm really happy with how it turned out. And yeah, and here's the leg. The tail, it is pretty long if I extend them out, and it is articulated to some extent. You can see there it is. And basically each section is fully sculpted, but except the base. Oh, my little base is moving. You can see the antenna. This is the antenna piece I was talking about over here, except I used the other end for the mouth to make it articulated. But yeah, so this piece, the little joint, I used it here, and then I used a Lego leg connector piece, if you could see in there. And I sculpted around it, and then, you know, just put it in there, and yeah, it acts as a pretty good ball joint. There is gaps between the tail, but I don't really care, because at least I can pose it. You know, it looks kind of cool. So yeah, that is it. I've been wanting to make a Godzilla for years, and I finally did it. I was very seriously going to use either the Big Fig knockoff or the just the minifigure knockoff piece as a base, but I'm glad I didn't, and I decided to sculpt it. It was a lot of work, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. A lot of people want me to use the Big Figs now to make Godzilla and Kong. I personally don't want to do that. I don't think it's a bad idea. I just don't think it looks, it doesn't like really capture the proportions or the looks that I want for my figures. So yeah, that's why I decided to make them the way that you see them here, even though they're really small next to a minifigure, but that's okay. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Godzilla. Let me know what you think of him in the comments. A lot of people are like it, but then there's some people who are not liking it. So anyway, that's pretty much it for Godzilla and this video, so let's just wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give this video a like. Also, subscribe to my channel if you've not already. Hopefully more custom videos on my channel eventually. Not sure, I don't really have a schedule. I never really had a schedule for uploading videos, but yeah, anyway, subscribe if you want to see more, I guess. Also, Instagram is where I've been really active on Instagram, so if you want to check out my custom figures over there, you can, link in the description below. I also been posting reels. People seem to really like the reels that I've been making, so yeah, and if you want to know how I customize, the reels are the best, or, well, the closest thing I can do to me filming, because I prefer not to film me painting, to be honest. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. In terms of future videos, I don't have a schedule. I have a lot of figures I can make videos on. Just finding the time and finding the motivation, because it's really hard to motivate me to make videos nowadays. And also, you know, been busy, school life gets in the way. So yeah, anyway, in terms of future MonsterVerse figures, I'm not sure if I'm going to make any more. Shimo would be really cool, but I don't have plans right now. We'll see. Definitely not making Scar King. Didn't actually like Scar King. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys once again so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video, whenever or whatever video it'll be, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.